into the hands of the wicked. Alright? Esau didn't conquer nothing. Alright? Esau didn't win any battles by his superior strength. Definitely not by his superior intellect. Right? He won battles first and foremost when you go into first and foremost because it was already ordained. It was set up by the Most High. Alright? That you would do these things, man. That you would conquer the world like that, man. The world was given into your hand. Alright? And this is the end of the world. That's another way that we know who the so-called white man is today, man. That's another way that we know who Esau Edom is today. Alright? So what does it say? The flesh of thy children that the Lord gave to you, just like Job said, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Hey, the Most High gave you this kingdom. Okay? So the Most High is going to be the one to take it away from you, man. He's going to use his son to do it. Alright? All these nations, all the nations of this earth are going to be destroyed by the Lord when he comes back. He's not coming to reward Esau Edom for anything, man. The reward that he's going to get is in the left hand. It's not in the right hand. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power had given thee. With thine enemies, with thine enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Thine enemies. Hey, so if there's a chosen people of the Lord that's on the earth today, and they have enemies, who would they be? Alright, can you hold that and give me Jeremiah? Give me Jeremiah 12 and 9. Look at you. Alright? We're going to find out who the enemy is. Because look, the Lord created several different nations that are upon the face of the earth today. And they have different categories, man. You have the sons of the wicked, you have the sons of men, which are the other heathen nations, and you have the sons of the power. Because there's only one chosen people that's upon the face of the earth. And it's definitely not the so-called Judas in Israel today, man. That can't be. It's not possible. Because we just read, according to the Bible, that if the holy and righteous people were living in the land of Israel today, the world would be in rejoicing, man. Everybody would be happy. There wouldn't be no problems, man. Alright? There wouldn't be poison in the air. There wouldn't be lead and fluoride in the water. There wouldn't be no GMO crops. Alright? These animals wouldn't be going extinct at a rapid rate. The earth itself wouldn't be getting depleted of all its natural resources, man. Alright? Because that's what Esau is, man. He's like a fucking mosquito just sucking the blood out of the earth, man. Puts a big ass pipeline into the ocean and then drains all the oil out. And then you get an oil spill, which they can't even plug that shit. So the ocean is being destroyed. The forest is being destroyed. All the natural land where there's trees and there's greenery is all being destroyed. The air is polluted. The water's polluted. The food isn't fucking real. You live in a fantasy world, man. What you got?
Jeremiah 12 and 9.
Jeremiah 12 and 9.
This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. That's another key point. All right. If the Israelites are in the land of Israel right now, how come there seems to only be one tribe? Why are they all Jews? Why do they all look the same? If his heritage is as a speckled bird, they all look different, man. They're the same species of bird, but they all have different colors. They're all speckled differently, man. So where's the rest of the tribes? Where's the other 11 tribes at? It's simple, man. It's math. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4, man. Go ahead.
The birds round about are against her.
The birds round about are against her. So all the other nations, if they're not of the nation of Israel, they are against the nation of Israel, man. Simple as that. And all the enemies of Israel are going to besiege you jakes in America at all your gates, man. Because what? The United Nations. What do you think that is, man? That's a confederacy against you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's spearheaded by the so-called white men and all these other nations, man. You can get that for me in Psalms 83. Just scratch everything and just jump to Psalms 83. This thing goes where it goes. So we know in the curses it said that thy enemies are going to distress you. All right. It says, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. All right.
Start at the top.
Yeah, Psalm 83 and 1.
This is Psalm 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power.
Yeah, it's saying, hold not thy silence. You know, be not still. Don't let this go on any longer. Look how long this has been going on for. All right. Oh, let me see. Hold up. I think it's in Daniel. Yep. This Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses. That's what he's saying not to keep silence about anymore, right? He has seen servants upon horses. All the other nations were created to serve the nation of Israel. That's it. That's how it was during the Garden of Eden. He said he gave Adam the charge to have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and over every creature, every beast, man. He said whatever he named them, that's what their name was, man. That includes the other nations, because the serpent was a man. All right, the serpent was Esau, Edom in the garden. And what he say to the serpent? He said, "Thou art cursed above all cattle." He called the serpent cattle. That's what you other nations are, man. You're just servants. All right, Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. All right, so the servants have rebelled over against the owners, man. All right, the slaves have rebelled against the slave masters. And all of this is because why? Because you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans refuse to get with the program. Just like when we first started camp, that guy was in the car. He said, "Oh yeah, you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah." He said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not." What is that? What is that, man? That's Jake being rebellious. That's why you're in the condition that you're in right now, man. That's why the other nations are ruling over you, man. That's why California, New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona aren't a part of Mexico anymore. All right? That's why the Native Americans are living on reservations. That's why the tribe of Judah, all right, Benjamin and Levi were taken in slave ships and brought over here, man. All right? That's why the French and the Spanish came to South America and was destroying you Latino tribes, man. All right, and putting you in slavery. Why? Because of the curses. Because it says if you obey the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that you would be in good case. But if you were to leave off of it, then the Lord was going to use all these other nations to test you, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and what were the Aztecs doing when they got taken over? They were sacrificing people. You know, they were worshiping the sun. They were doing all kinds of wicked shit. That's one of the reasons why the Most High brought these people to overtake them, because they were going off.
This is Judges 2 and 1. Hopefully the point is in here that I want to make, because there is a super deep point that's made here in Judges. It says, and an angel of Yahweh came up from Gilgal to Bochim and and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. That's already deep right there. He said, so that's why, hey man, so-called white man can't rule the world, because the Lord said he will never break his covenant with the nation of Israel, man. All right? So the nation of Israel is going to rule no matter what. And you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare unto you. Alright? And what do you have today, man? The other nations are thorns in your sides, man. The other nations are actively oppressing you with Esau and Edom. Alright? They said their gods would be a snare unto you because they wouldn't allow you to come back to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. Because you're going to be too trapped up in that fucking bullshit ideology of these other nations, man. Whether you want to be a Jake and be a Buddhist, whether you want to be a Jake and be a Muslim, whether you want to be a Jake and be an Egyptologist, it doesn't matter. These are all philosophies of the other nations. You could be a damn Scientologist or one of these weird breatharians that think that they can live just breathing air and shit, man. You could do anything in America. It's fucking retarded here, man. Alright, this says, let me see. And it came to pass when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lift up their voice and wept. And that's Jake, man. When judgment comes upon them, they lift up their voice and weep and say that they're sorry. Alright, but they're not seeking them early. They're not seeking them while it's still light out, man. There was a point. Let me see. So look, bear with me, because there's a point that I want to make. I don't think it's in this chapter. Maybe in Judges 1. I know it's in Judges though. Ah, there we go. This is Judges 3 and 1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof, namely 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians. See, Sidonians are a real thing. Yeah, this bug-out so-called Jew that came up and said, so I think Sidonians is he's like a people, alien race on Mars, or some stupid shit. You so-called Jews are the most retarded people on earth, man. Yeah. Like what that bug-out rat Jew Ben Shapiro say, man? He said, oh yeah, some black Israelites, cult vegan weirdos, black vegan weirdos that they have nothing to do with Judaism. You're right about one thing. We don't have anything to do with Judaism, man. We don't give a fuck about your Babylonian Talmud. The Sidonians and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. Hey, so the Lord left those peoples in the land to prove Israel, man, to try them, to tempt them, to test them, to see if they were going to serve the Lord or if they were going to go after the gods of the other nations, man. Which look at where we're at now. It's gotten to the point where Israel has completely lost who they are as a people, and they're starting to get it back now. All right? Which this word has gone out throughout the 4 corners of the earth, man. If you don't know, if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, and you don't know that you're an Israelite, and it's 2019, you're a bug out. All right? There's something wrong with your brain. All right? So that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening these last days. These other nations are thorns in your side, man. These other nations are going to be used to destroy two-thirds of the nation of Israel, man. All right? The rebellious house. All right? The house of Saul. Okay? Go ahead.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah, they taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones, man. Alright? Which who are the hidden ones, man? Alright? Everybody seems to know who they are in the world today. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are the only ones that have no idea, man. They've been hidden. Alright? Now we're in the time of revealing. All right. Now the books are open in the firmament, man. All right. Go ahead.
They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
Come, let us cut them off from being a nation. And what happened, man? That is exactly what they tried to do. They tried to cut you off from being a people. All right. You know, if you walk in front of the camera, you walk in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Who are the Israelites? That's why you have something called the lost 10 tribes. Alright? The lost tribes of Israel. They're not lost. They didn't just disappear. Fucking didn't just fall into a ditch somewhere, commit mass suicide. No, they've been hidden. Why? Because Esau, Edom had conquered them through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? Through the prophecies that it was meant to happen. Why? Because Israel went off, not because Esau, Edom is some kind of great fucking conqueror, some kind of strong nation. That's all bullshit, man. You Edomites got handed the kingdom. In fact, when you go back to into history and you look at the European history, you have something called the Black Plague. And that's how you so-called white people took down Jake in Europe, man, because of the Black Plague. Then that was when Jake was ruling in Europe, man. That's when you had the Moors, the Byzantine Empire. That's when you had the Celtics and the Vikings and the barbarian tribes. Those were all Jakes, man. So-called Negroes from Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, man. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, man. And then what happened? The Lord spread a plague throughout Europe called the bubonic plague. They call it the Black Plague for a reason, man. Because it hit you so-called black people. And then what happened, man? Esau, Edom came out of the Caucasus Mountains because it tells you that he was driven forth from among men. In fact, this is right.
You don't have no idea. Oh!
Just go. It's fine. Job 30:1. It says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision." All right, what does derision mean? Derision means to be in a bad spot, man. All right, to be put in bad case, to be put in straits. You're in derision. All right.
That's kind of funny.
They that are younger than me. Why? Because throughout history, everybody's been of a dark complexion. So-called white people were a new thing. Hey, man, white people came out with Esau, man. That was the beginning of the so-called white man. So they are a younger race, man. It says, "Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock." So he said, I wouldn't even let them live in my dog house, man. I wouldn't even let them sleep in my dog kennel because I don't know what you're gonna do to my dogs, man. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste. It said flying into the wilderness. They were fleeing into the wilderness because they were being chased out of society, man. This is talking about you so-called white people. This is your history, man. All right? When the Roman Empire fell, you so-called white people got enslaved, you got chased out. All right, you were the bottom of the barrel, man. You were in the ghettos and the slums. All right, you were looking like Jake is today, man. But even worse case, all right, because you so-called white people are the devil, man. You have no understanding. Wisdom and knowledge wasn't imparted unto you people, man. You can't understand. It says, for want and famine they were solitary, flying into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. And when you look it up, because you have like that Geico commercial that says so easy a caveman could do it. That's what this is talking about. Because when you look up juniper roots, juniper is like something that grows out of rocks and the sides of mountains, man. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Why? Because you so-called white people are thieves. All you know how to do is steal, man. Steal shit. All right? Take everything through deceit, lies, robbery. All right? Y'all are the craftiest nation on the earth. Y'all the best liars on the earth, man. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. So who are the cavemen? It just told you right there. So-called white men are the actual cavemen. The Bible just explained it to you, man. All right? Now, there was no evolution. What happened was that Jake civilized you nasty asses because you was in the caves. Grunting didn't even have an actual language. All right? You would wear clothing until it disintegrated off of you. Like there was this cartoon called Big Hero 6 that came out. And there was a character in there who was an Edomite. And he's talking about his underwear. He's like, I haven't washed my underwear in like 3 weeks or something like that, or like a month. He said, I go front, I go back, then I turn it inside out, and then I go front and I go back. That's Esau, man. He'll wear his underwear until it turns black, man.
Yeah, it talks about that in the book, the 13th tribe. Where it talks about they would fucking just wait till their underwear would disintegrate off of them. They wouldn't even change it.
Yeah, man. That's called fungus.
Yeah, okay.
That's some funky ass shit, Esau. Y'all some funky ass motherfuckers, man. Excuse my language. It says among the bushes they braid. What does it mean? I want to look this up. I want to look up what the word braid. To braid. This is an action word here.
Okay.
I think it's like screen.
Hey, look. Okay, so it says, among the bushes they braid. I put define braid. The loud, harsh cry of a donkey or mule. That's what it means to braid. The loud, harsh cry of a donkey or a mule. That's why it's good to look up words so you can get a good understanding of what the Bible's talking about, man. In fact, we could even go, let's see. The bushes they braid. So that's Job 30:7. Let's see if we can pull it up in the blue letter. Job 30. That's why you got these tools like the blue letter Bible where we can look up words. It says in the bushes they braid, which is nahak. Alright? It says to bray, cry out, scream from hunger. Yeah. It says used of an ass when hungry, of wretched and famished persons. Damn. So look at that. That's what it means to bray, to cry out, man. Alright? In the bushes, why? Because your meat was juniper roots. You can't get very full off of juniper roots, I don't think. It says, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools. That's who runs the world right now. Children of fools.
No!
Hey, fuck you, man. Fucking Satan, man. What's wrong with you, bug out? That shit kind of made me jump. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what it say. Give your bodies up as a living sacrifice. This one could have came up and just dusted me if he wanted to. Hey, but how about shimmy outside with us, man?
Probably. Possible.
Said they were the children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. Oh, you know what? There's a super dope scripture. Yo, Salaki, I gotta keep looking these up. I don't know them off tops. You know, doing my best up here. Boy, the scripture's bad, man. The scripture's bad. Watch this. It says Daniel 4:16, let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. Hey, so Esau has a beast's heart, man. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Hey, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai rules in the kingdom of men. Esau's not ruling nothing. Esau's not running anything, man. These elites are nothing but puppets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Alright, there is no free will. Alright? Esau ain't manifesting his own destiny. Esau ain't doing nothing except what Yahweh Shem Yahushai allows him to do, and that's it. And the only reason the Lord's allowing him to do it is so that he can destroy him, man, with a great and powerful and mighty destruction, so that all the nations of the earth will bow down and worship and fear the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. It's as simple as that. The Bible is easy. It says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. Oh man, let's read that again. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basest of men. That's you Edomites, man. We're at the bottom of the barrel, man. This is the Edomite society. Esau was the last legs of so-called civilization, man, of this world. All right, I say so-called civilization because it tells you when the Greeks came into power, when Alexander came into power, that wickedness multiplied in the earth, man. And what's that? That's not civilization, man. Because to be civilized means that you're ruling in wisdom and in knowledge, man. Because everything has to be done in decency and in order. Everything has to be done according to the program that Yahweh Shem Yahushai laid out. If it's not of the Lord, then it's going to be decimated, man. All right. So it says, Job 30:8, they were the children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Now see that? Viler than the earth, man. Alright? And so the Lord sets up whoever he wants to. Alright? That's why Esau Edom was set up. Why? Alright, let's find out why. You know what? You can get it. Scratch that. Get Romans 9. I think it starts at, you know what? You could just start at 1. We'll just go in. I mean, why not? It tells you, what does it tell you in the Bible? Hold on. Let me get a scripture real quick. There's a good scripture. This is Proverbs 30:5. It says, every word of Yahweh is pure. Right? So it really doesn't matter where you go in the scriptures. You know what I mean? Like you use the scriptures here a little and there a little, you break it down. You could go into whole chapters though, man. Yeah. And then go back and forth between different books and different, to put together a bigger picture, a better piece of the puzzle, like a more clear view of the vision, you know? But it says every word in these scriptures is pure, man. All right? Every word that comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushai is pure. All right? He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Yeah, why? Because you can't dispute the Bible. Alright, this is the word of God. What are you gonna say against it? You can say whatever you want out of your own mouth, but at the end of the day, these things are gonna actually happen. It doesn't matter what you think or what you say. Your belief isn't gonna control what happens in reality, man.